The chairs. Good evening, Lagos. Good evening, Nigeria. Welcome to the fan battle tonight. It's our opportunity once again to go counter-attacking. And you know the way it's been. It's the final week of daily counter-attacking from round 3, which commences next week. We'll be having it twice a week. That's when we move to the round of 16. We are dealing with the round of 24 this week, having started with 32 contestants. And by weekend, we'll know who all the 16 will be from the 24 who had qualified from the first phase, in which 8 people had to leave. So we welcome you. We thank you very much for being a part of the ride as we go into what brings us here on a nightly basis. My name is Femi Daniels. I have the distinct privilege and honor to host this alongside my colleagues who would serve on the panel. Tonight, it will be Ufoma Egbamuno, who's right by me. Good evening, Ufoma.
A very good evening to you, Femi. Good evening to everyone who's tuned into the broadcast.
Also on the night, Sarafina joins the broadcast.
As usual. Pleasure. Respect.
Yeah. And forming the trio of the panel tonight, Chuma Noli. How are you doing, Chuma?
I'm doing great, Femi. Great to be here. You guys are tuned into the right channel. It's good to be a member of the panel. So we hope that these great contestants who pour in their analogy and analysis like they're pouring in fuel through a funnel so they can emerge from a tunnel.
Can't help yourself.
Always.
Can't actually help yourself.
Well, give it out to Chuma, the Colonel. So let's get started. Tonight, as always, 2 contests, 4 contestants. We will start with Battle 1 for the night. Battle 23 in total. And that battle will be between Olufemi Olajide Taiwo and Uche Ovu. Now, for those who've followed us, I did say last night that 2 people who had been evicted earlier had a second chance to return and fight. We saw one of them yesterday in the person of Okpe, and his since progressed. On that occasion, it would seem at the expense of IK. Tonight, Femi Taiwo returns, and it's a second ask. We'll see whether he will progress tonight or not. We've seen people evicted earlier on come right in, as in the case of Peter Adekeye, who got eliminated. He came back, took his chance and progressed. We also saw Chisom, who got eliminated, come back and got eliminated again. These things, you never can tell how they will go. But let's get straight to the battle tonight and follow through. Femi Taiwo is popularly referred to as Femi the Great Pundit, an IT academic counselor who supports Chelsea globally. Doesn't seem to bother so much about the Nigerian teams. He stays somewhere in Koka, Surulere. On social media, he is against all odds. On Twitter and Instagram, against all odds. The S is a Z in the against. Against all odds. Femi, so good to have you with me tonight.
It's a pleasure to be here again.
His opponent, Uche Ovu, who is a freelance on-air personality, is a micro-influencer and content creator, supports Arsenal globally and Enyimba locally, stays in Jibowu in Lagos State. On Twitter, he's known as @Ovu Uche, as the account that he no longer uses. He's got 2 more. Remember, he's a micro-influencer and content creator. You'd see him on Twitter as at Ovu Hyacinth or at Uche Ovu. Those are his handles. On Instagram, he is at Ovu Uche. Uche, thank you for coming. Welcome.
Thank you, Femi. Always a pleasure.
All right. The second battle will be between a gentleman and a lady. Let's get on straight to the business of the first battle first. Are you ready, gentlemen?
Yes, I am.
All right. So we'll cut out all the preambles. You know what to expect. When your battle is done, we'll vote. Listeners at home will vote via the phone lines. Twitter will vote. Facebook will vote. And then the panel will make the ultimate decision as it goes. We are streaming live on Facebook. Nigeria Info 993. In moments, you'd see the debate topic and of course the names of these two individuals. You'll see Uche, you'll see Femi. If you click on either name, you vote for that person. Would implore you to let the conversation begin so that you base your voting not on your personal opinion of the topic, but on the performance and output of the two individuals. We're also streaming live on YouTube. That video is embedded on our Twitter handle, Nigeria Info 99. That's at Nigeria Info FM, pardon me. At Nigeria Info FM. You will see the live streaming there from our YouTube page. And you'd also see the vote tweet pinned to the top of our profile. You'll see the question, you'll see their names, Uche and Femi. You'll click to determine who you voted for. Once you've voted, you'll be able to see how the vote is doing until when we get there. Having said that, here is the topic for debate between Uche and Femi. For the purpose of this battle, Femi, you are contestant number 1. Uche, you are contestant number 2. Contestant number 1 goes first. Is that clear?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. So battle 23 and battle 1 for the night. Can Zidane turn the tide around for Real Madrid? Or was he just lucky the first time? Can Zidane turn the tide around for Real Madrid? Or was he just fortunate the first time? We put it into a draw. Uche ended up with yes, he can turn the tide. Femi picked not this time. The arguments will let us know how their mind is working. Don't forget, what these individuals choose, what they've picked, what they're defending, does not necessarily represent their personal opinion. It's a draw. They've picked it and they have to defend it, whether they believe it in their hearts or not. First minute to put your points out. 5 minutes to go head to head in a debate, counter arguments, and a final minute to drive your point home. Are you ready, gentlemen?
Yes, I'm ready.
Femi, you have 1 minute to tell us why you believe Zidane will not succeed in turning the tide around for Real Madrid this time. Your minute begins right now.
Well, thank you, Femi. There's a song by Kenny Rogers. The title is Gambler, and it says that as an individual who gambles, you would have time to place your cards on the table. You should know when to carry your cards to your chest. You should know when to pack your money. You should know when to walk away. You should know when to run. I think Zinedine Zidane, in his first stint, actually obeyed those laws very well. He left on a high. He left when the ovation was very, very high. But, well, they say money answereth all things, according to the Bible. He was lured by mega bucks from the president and other board in Real Madrid, and he was lured back. Unfortunately, the same quality in that team when he was there initially was no more there. So my point is, he would find it very difficult, and it would not be possible for him to do that at a second time, because lightning does not strike at the same time at the same place.
All right, thank you very much. You have 1 minute, Uche, to counter him, put your position out as to why you think that, yes, he can do it. Your minute commences right now.
Okay, thank you, Femi. Zinedine Zidane, he came into Madrid 2015, his first coming, and you could see he came in to replace Benitez, who did not live up to expectation, and he played 25 matches, he won 21, lost 2, and drew 2, went ahead to win the Champions League. So you could see, yeah, even with a low budget, he later spent 2 years and 5 months at Real Madrid. He won nine trophies. So you could see, even without spending big, he was able to manage this team, was able to bring out the best from this team, and made sure, yes, he achieved to an extent, even when he came out to say he did not achieve what some of the things the club said he should achieve. But you know, yes, he was able to do something. Now check him coming back. He knows, yeah, before he came, according to Marca said one of the reasons why he left Real Madrid was because he wanted to have total control of the team, total control of the market. He wants to bring his own players. He does not want the team to impose players on him. And now he has come back because he knows he can buy his own player.
I'm sure you'll have opportunities to drive that point home. If you're listening at home or if you're following us on social media, a quick reminder, we're streaming live on Facebook and Twitter. More like Facebook and YouTube via Twitter. And you can vote for these two individuals. Femi spoke first, Uche spoke second. And I'm sure you're probably beginning to decide in your heart who is making more sense to you. Now, the next 5 minutes will give you ample opportunity to do that. We'll implore you to hold your fire and vote based on their performance and not on your personal opinion. On Facebook, it's Nigeria Info 993. On Twitter, it is at Nigeria Info FM. Please drop your comments and most importantly, vote by clicking on either name. And so we'll know the results. Gentlemen, are you ready to go? For 5 minutes, it's up to you to argue out your points and state your positions clearly. I implore you to allow each other talk. I expect that in a debate, simultaneous debate, your voices will overlap. But even though that is allowed, try to avoid it going on and on and on to the point where nobody hears what whoever is saying. If I have to interrupt, I will. If I have to stop you, I will. If I decide I should cut your time down, I will. Your 5 minutes begin now.
Okay, let me start by saying 3 Champions League trophies back to back, 2 World Club Cup, UEFA Super Cup, 1 La Liga, 1 Spanish Super Cup. What else
You won't call that lucky. No, you won't call that lucky.
Definitely, that's of course.
Yeah.
He worked for it at that particular time, but now can he replicate the same thing?
He can still replicate it.
Of course, he's making a mess of the record already.
Okay, you look at
making a mess of the record.
2 years, 5 months.
Okay.
No big spending.
Okay.
He was managing the team. He saw and he was trying to bring some young talent.
A Madrid that is losing to Real Betis 2-0 at home at the Bernabeu. A Madrid that's a team like Alaves and the Minos in La Liga are coming to stifle for points at Bernabeu.
That was not under Zidane. They sacked 2 managers for them to bring him back.
He lost against Betis at home.
He came back. He saw a shambolic Madrid. Now they brought him back so that he could manage the team.
But he just said it wasn't.
That's one.
It wasn't he that
they lost period to when before he came back. They lost many matches before he came back,
and he continued the losing streak.
That's what I'm telling you.
Dropping points.
No, they brought him back for him to finish the season.
Okay.
1, for him to know the loopholes on where to replace, because before he left, he said he wanted to have total control of the market.
Now that he has it, what has changed?
He said that's it. He has gotten it. He has gotten it now. Let the season begin, because he has. He said
the same season. He's already having. Having losses.
No,
he's already having.
The season
losses.
has not begin. It's yet to begin. No, the season is yet to begin, because if
tomorrow go be now, today we go take no.
See, that's what I'm saying. If you want to judge, if you want to judge based on preseason,
okay,
that you will not give Liverpool the chance next season.
Okay.
you will not give Man City the last because these people you definitely also give Chelsea and Manchester United the chance to win the league because they've been having excellent preseason.
I definitely will.
That's what I'm telling you.
It's not just by we are seeing it currently. A team like Real Madrid shouldn't be dropping points. Shouldn't be dropping points and losing games to
it's called preseason because it's trying to.
The players that are playing are they not Real Madrid players?
Is it the same player that starts the game that ends the game?
It doesn't matter. They are Real Madrid players.
It makes up to 11 substitution at half time.
It is you can make 22 if possible.
That's what
they are on the payroll of Real Madrid. Why would they be dropping points?
Prior to a second comment.
Yes.
Marcelo wanted to leave.
Okay.
Varane wanted to leave.
Okay.
Other players wanted.
All of them that have agreed to stay now. What has changed?
Other players wanted to leave.
Yes.
But once immediately they heard Zidane is coming back, everything died down.
But the performance doesn't change. The performance never changed. The performance continues. The poor performance continues.
The performance did not continue. How did it continue?
It did.
How did it continue?
The matches that they lost during the league, it was obvious.
Was he playing?
He admitted.
Was he playing one style of formation? You could see Zidane was trying 4-3-3 formation.
How can an established coach
at that moment
that's what trying other formation?
When he came back, Madrid has lost it. It was a end of season for Madrid. They were not fighting for anything.
You were a professional.
They were not fighting for anything. Wait, what was he fighting for anything when he came back?
Yes, they were.
He was trying to bring the team back. He was trying to bring the team back.
Definitely,
first, and he was trying to look where
in the process, not losing to Minos in the La Liga.
He was also trying to look where
not
he could
losing to
replace.
Minos.
He was trying to look the kind of player that will fit in the style of formation.
Okay.
That's why he went for Hazard. He went for Jovic.
And now they came. What has changed?
Jovic is injured. You can't.
Hazard, what happened to Hazard?
You don't expect him to overplay Hazard in preseason. He's trying to reserve Hazard for the season to begin.
If you even look at it now, the fans are already even complaining about Hazard's fitness and his body size. Just within this few period,
everything will work out when the season begins.
Because you already how sure are you that everything will work out? When we're already seeing signs. We're already seeing the signs.
Zidane is a coach that knows how to bring the best.
We're already seeing the signs.
Zidane is a coach that knows how to bring the best out of players.
How?
We saw Isco. We saw Asensio. We saw Gareth.
Those players are still there. The same Gareth Bale that was outstanding. He's having a problem with him presently.
We saw Benzema.
Until
we saw Marcelo. We saw Cavaya.
Until recently when Asensio got injured.
Using Nacho, Lucas Vasquez at right back.
Until recently when Asensio got injured, that he's trying to withdraw. He wanted Gareth Bale out of that team by all means. He's fighting Gareth Bale.
Zidane knows how to bring the best out of all these players. He knows the formation to use. You see, Zidane faced every match.
He should have used that formation with the same Gareth Bale that is in that team and achieve what he's going to achieve. He shouldn't be having a problem. Gareth Bale is an outstanding player in that team.
See, that was why.
Real Madrid
that was one reason he left. Because see, before he left, January transfer, they wanted to sign Arrizabalaga. He told Madrid board that you don't give me a goalkeeper. You don't impose a goalkeeper on me. Because
Arrizabalaga would have been the solution to goalkeeping problems. Would Arrizabalaga
was Kelenava's bad then?
He wasn't bad. So what happened? What happened to Keylor Navas?
All right, gentlemen, your 5 minutes are up. Again, it will come down to the votes after your final minute to wrap things up. I do believe that many of those who would vote are beginning to make up their mind. If you haven't made up your mind, you'll hear them separately for a minute each now to decide who gets your votes. Follow us live on social media. On Twitter, it's at Nigeria Info FM. Our YouTube video, a live stream video is embedded there. Also, look on our Twitter handle for the pinned tweet where you are going to vote between Femi and Uche. Also on Facebook, we're live streaming on our Facebook page, Nigeria Info 993. Depending on what device you're using, you'd either see their names at the bottom or on the top right corner of that screen. Femi, no. Uche, yes. Can Zidane turn the tide around for Real Madrid? So we'll see. Finally, gentlemen, your 1 minute each. Femi, 1 minute to drive your point home. Uche, you'll get the same 1 minute, and then it will be voting time. Femi, your time starts now.
The Real Madrid of the previous, before he left, had 70 games scoring. I know how many times the current Real Madrid have spoiled my ticket, so I wouldn't want to say much about that. Real Madrid had 40 games unbeaten during the first stint of what's it called, of the manager. The same problem you alluded to that Benitez had, why they sacked him when he came, when what's it called, when Zinedine Zidane came. Now he's having the same problem that Benitez was sacked for. Why won't Real Madrid? Why give me a reason why Real Madrid should not sack Zinedine Zidane now? I rest my case there.
Thank you very much. You saved us a good 18 seconds. Appreciate it. It's your turn now, Uche, to drive your own point home. You have a minute. It starts now.
Many managers have left their club and they came back with a success story. We could see the likes of your icons of Bayern Munich. He left Bayern Munich, he came back to replace Ancelotti and he won the league. We could see Harry Redknapp. He left Portsmouth, he came back, he won the FA Cup. We could see a lot of managers, even Jose Mourinho left Chelsea, he came back, he won the league. So if you are telling me he cannot turn the tide around, previous managers have done this thing. Because he knows, before he made the selection that he was going to come back, he knows he has the ability, he has the power to pick the players he wants, to buy the kind of players he wants, to choose his own team and get what Madrid wants from him. And I believe him coming back, he will turn the tide around and turn Madrid to the best club it is before he left, and he will win all the trophies the board wants from him.
Thank you very much for saving us 13 seconds. We appreciate it. It's ended, this contest. It goes to decisions now. You may continue voting on social media while we go to the phone lines on Facebook. It is indeed that's Nigeria Info 993. That's our Facebook page. You'll see the live stream. You are voting on the live stream. You'll see their name on the live stream, and decide who to vote. Uche was the last person to speak. Taiwo was the guy who said no, he cannot turn it around. That was Femi. Uche said he can, and you just heard him speak. Also on Twitter, you can go look for our live stream from our YouTube channel. It's there at Nigeria Info FM, and be on the lookout for the poll where you vote for either Femi or Uche. It's pinned at the top of our profile. Having said that, there are 100 marks, 20 from the phone, 10 from Twitter, 10 from Facebook, making 20 from social media, and 60 marks from the panel. We'll start, as usual, with the phone vote. 01277-0993, 01277-1993, 01277-2993, and 01277-3993. If we pick your call on 01277-1993, we don't get audio, we'll implore you to subsequently avoid that line and use the other ones, 0993-2993 and 3993. 5 votes, whoever gets 3 first. Here we go. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yes, please. How are you doing?
I'm fine. This is Grand Code.
Okay. So how would
Uche?
You are voting for Uche?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the guy. Okay. All right. It seemed to know what he was talking about. So Uche gets the first vote. Who's next? Hello? Hello, anybody there? So that's our line that's not working. Please do not use 1993. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, how are you?
Fine.
All right.
Now, I would like to go for the guy that said if he come back that it will be a flop. I think that should be the first guy.
Yes, please, Femi.
Femi.
Femi is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because I so much believe in living at the loudest occasion like that.
Are you voting based on your opinion on the subject or based on Femi's performance?
Yes, both the Femi performance and the point also that at the end of the day they are going to stack him on in a way that
okay. You are satisfied with Femi's performance?
Yes.
All right. So we will keep the vote. However, we implore people who vote not to base it on their personal opinion. You may not agree but vote for the person who impressed you more, even if you don't agree with his points. If you thought he sounded better, he marshaled his points better, vote for him, even if you do not share his opinion. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm Shegun calling from Mikeja.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next vote, we'll take it. We'll let that count. Hi there.
Hello, good evening, Femi.
Good evening and welcome. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Yeah, we're great. Thank you.
This is Desmond calling from Ikeja.
Welcome, Desmond. How do you vote?
I think I'm voting for Femi. I like his contribution and his analysis and ideas. I vote for him.
So that's
I think it's going to be a disaster for Zidane this season, certainly.
All right. Thank you for your
No
vote.
criticism.
We appreciate it. Thank you. We'll move to the next line. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, you are voter number 4. Let's meet you.
This is Sam calling from Okota.
Thank you, Sam. How do you vote?
I'm voting for Femi.
All right.
Based on his points and my own opinion.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate your vote. Thank you very much. So we'll stop there. We have had 3 of the potential 5 go to Femi. So Femi, you would take the 20 marks and 20% of all votes available via the phone, totally, which will take us to social media. Thank you for voting on social media. We appreciate it. We will start by looking at what you guys have put out on Twitter. Just before I took the Twitter votes, just looking at some of your comments. Buki says Uche for me. Ahamba Payo says Uche has got it for me. Vital points. Onion for where he says both gentlemen made some points, but Uche edged Femi. Chidi Bank says Femi just sat back and was receiving all the punches Uche was throwing. It will get you knocked out in a battle, certainly. Babs 001 says that's why it's better to be a lucky coach than a good coach. Believe me, Zidane can't turn it around. Paul Njoku says, and he continued the losing streak. Nice one, Femi. Very nice one. I go with Femi. He sounds so confident. Fabian Ma says, Uche is on point. My votes go to him. Oyewale Babatunde Noah says no. That's his opinion. Mortaza Miki Yusuf says, yes. Zinedine Zidane. Well, Twitter has decided. And at 62% to 38%, Twitter gives it to Uche. Which takes us to Facebook. Ufoma.
Well, trying to get a few of the thoughts on Facebook. A lot of them have to do with the votes. Femi for me, this one is coming from Ali Abati. Rachel Kine says that Uche for me more convincing. Nice points. And Izagegbe David also says Uche for me. Some of the comments right there on Facebook, Mr. Femi.
All right.
Did you just do that?
Unbelievable.
You just said Mr. Femi.
I didn't say that. I didn't see that coming. Like, seriously.
I don't know.
Even our senior people do this. All right. Okay. I'll forgive you small.
Well. It's in order when you have when you're doing a lot of things at the same time.
Okay. So, how does Facebook vote?
It's actually Uche 55%, and Femi has got 45%.
So Uche takes Twitter, Uche takes Facebook, Femi takes the phone votes. They are tied at 20 marks each, which brings this whole thing home to the panel. Lady, gentlemen, it's up to you. You are the professionals, and I must say, when we vote based on a number of things. Our parameters may not necessarily be the parameters used by the people at home. We're looking at everything: ability, organization, coherence through everything, including coherence through connectives, ability to hold an audience down, to arouse their interest and keep that interest, diction, personality, poise, general command, cruise control, all of that. Who will go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Sarafina.
I don't understand this.
Did I say
nice one from both guys, but Femi, I would ask you this question: are you stressed?
Yeah.
Because this is not the Femi I've seen. Actually, it's a little bit off today. I just have to admit, the Femi I know normally comes to the studio with his points and everything, but today it's a little bit different. Because when looking at the subject matter, I expected you first, Femi, to let the listeners know that one of the reasons for Zidane's struggle is because of the fact that you cannot have a player like Ronaldo that gives you 50 goals a season and you sell him without bringing in a player that can actually guarantee you 30 goals a season. But he did not even talk anything about the fact that Ronaldo's leaving that team is also a reason for the struggle of the Real Madrid team. Now, going to Ovo, I would say nice point from him. He's actually one person that gave out the point for me the way I would want to go into the argument. He talked about the fact that Zidane's second coming is also part of the deal is the fact that he has been given the power to buy his players, know the kind of players he wants, bring in his own players, his own team per se, and also you want to consider the fact that you won the Champions League back to back. You don't call that luck. You call that is as a result of hard work and all that. And also you look at the points of actually dropped. I would say way is superior to what Femi dropped. The only thing I heard from Femi saying is the fact that we can see the signs. Nothing else from Femi. So I'll have to stick with Ovo on this one.
So Ovo takes Sarafina's vote. Who goes next?
Okay, I have a lot to say. First things first, I'll start with the intro. I thought Femi did okay with his intro. And I thought Uche's intro was poorly managed. He was rambling and really didn't. The 1 minute was supposed to be that 1 minute to articulate, not summarize, but give us an idea of what exactly you want to talk about. But I thought you were just going round and round in circles and really didn't manage that intro well. But the great thing was that in your summary, it was quite brilliant. The way you summarized and hit the point and talked about the fact that other managers have come back to clubs and have done well. I thought that was quite brilliant. For Femi, it's like you guys had a mismatch. While your intro was poor and your closing was quite great, his intro was okay and his closing was quite terrible, I would say. We're talking about problems, but what exactly was the problem? You didn't actually say. And also, like Sarafina pointed, I didn't hear a lot of points from you, Femi. It was only about losing to Minos. Why were they losing to Minos? Was it his poor selection? Was it his poor tactics? There were things you could have said, and like Sarafina pointed out, you can't lose the prowess of Cristiano Ronaldo in your team and not suffer. I thought that should have been your strongest point. Like, he won because he had Cristiano Ronaldo. The same way people have said any manager that just goes to Barcelona will win because of Lionel Messi. People also forget to say that Real Madrid have also been winning because of Cristiano Ronaldo. That should have been, one of your strongest points, but you practically didn't say anything about that. Uche actually had more points. He talked about Zidane having control of players, which exactly was one of the reasons he left in the first place. He talked about players who wanted to leave before, wanting to stay now. I thought you should have counted him by, of course, the whole hula baloo about Gareth Bale. So there were areas where you could have counted, you didn't counter. There were also areas where Uche could have also gone at you, but he didn't. All in all, I thought you guys can do better. Possibly stronger challengers will possibly knock you off. Whoever gets to the next level should add more preparations, coming into this. So, for me, Uche takes it for me 100%.
So Uche takes Ufoma's vote. Chuma, do you agree or do you defer?
Well, the two parties have said it all, Lufoma and Tarafina. I think that they have nailed the point. I was also going to say the same thing, that for me, we had better intro from Femi and not too good intro from Uche, but we had a much better outro, if I'm permitted to use that word, by Uche, and not the perfect outro by Femi. So it was going to go down to the battle proper for me, and Uche made more points like Lufoma said, but what will make me go for a Femi is because of his presentation pattern. Uche seems to come across as a guy who's read so much, has the facts on his mind, yeah, but the delivery doesn't touch me 100%. You're on radio, it's not just about arguing in a viewing center or some kind of beer parlor argument. There has to be cohesion with your words, there has to be composure with the presentation. Sometimes he stutters too much, sometimes it looks like he's a bit jittery, as if the voice is shaking while trying to make his point. So certain he's going to progress because two people have gone for him. I'll hope that he works on that, so when he goes to the next battle he can do better. I'll go for Femi because of presentation,
for finesse and clearer sounding. And yes, the points made about your interest arousing introduction is key, and your conclusion has to be up there. Why? Because your introduction is your first impression, and it determines whether people want to listen to you or not. Your conclusion is your last impression. It can mar you. If your conclusion is poor, it can make people forget how great your introduction was, and they could forget about you pretty quickly. So always bear that in mind. Uche was trying to make a point about the formation that Zinedine Zidane applied. Yes, he had the 4-3-3 thing going until Bill had that early injury in one game. He had to switch to a 4-4-2, and when he did switch to a 4-4-2, he started having greater results, which was also the genesis of Gareth Bale's issues with Zinedine Zidane. But you take these lessons and improve. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So on the strength of the argument, you are balanced on from the home, but Uche edges it slightly, only slightly, from the panel, from the panel, and the panel vote is important because we are looking at everything, okay, not just on who wins an argument or who, everything, including who will if I had to choose between two of you now, who will I put on radio now? It forms my opinion. Okay? So congratulations, Uche. You've progressed.
Thank you.
You go to the next round. You'd pick a date and a potential fixture for me. I'll plug that in. For Femi, you'll have to wait until the end of the second battle to determine whether you get a chance to come fight on Saturday for a place in the next round. Uche, what did you pick?
Friday, number 1.
Friday, I need the date. Friday 9th or Friday 16th?
9th.
Friday 9th, number 1. Uche. Fantastic. So, Okwe is already in that group. He's number 3. You will go up against whoever is number 4. All right? We don't know yet. We'll find out soon enough. Congratulations. While Femi wait, you maintain your position. We'll take a quick break and we'll return for Battle 2 on the night in a bit.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.